Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Anan Falah. I'm 50 years old. I'm an Israeli Arab Druze from Akko. The Druze are a minority in Israel who mostly live in the northern regions of the country. We are Arab-speaking community who maintains a unique religion which split from the Shia Islam, which is the second largest branch of the Islam. We resemble more than 100,000 citizens of Israel, and the rest are residents of the Golan Heights. We also called El Muwahidin and Bani Ma'ruf. According to the Druze religion, there is one God. It's a secret religion. Only the religious people know about the religion. So for example, I don't know much about my religion because I'm not religious. Our holy sites are mostly in Israel, but we have some on the south of Lebanon also. We don't have multicultural marriage because we are a small community. So if we married from another religion, we will disappear in a couple of years. The relationship between Israel and the Druze began many years ago, even before the Israel country began. We share a sort of brotherhood with the Israeli population. The Druze are serving in the army. So my father and my 3 brothers were in the army. I have one son who is a student at the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. He will finish this year. And in November, he will go to the military, to the army. So life as a minority in Israel is very challenging for us. And even it's very amazing. So on one hand, I don't like the people who are categorized as because we serve the country and serve and go to the army and protect our land. And many Druze soldiers were killed in the military. To be more specific, the Druze community sacrificed till today about 400 soldiers in the battles. And every year, about 85% of the young Druze male are going to the army, are joining the army each year, which this number is higher than the Jewish community in Israel. It's a very high percent. But on the other hand, I can say that we give all our debts, but we also take our rights. So there's no place in the world that the Druze community can feel safer or independent or secure than in Israel. Israel country is the first country in the world that recognizes the Druze as a unique religion, and it is very important to us. So now I want to show you a short film about the Druze, and we'll continue after the film, okay? It's okay?
You need this, you need to take it.
It's okay now?
No.
Ya Allah.
You need to have this closer. Because you have this here.
Nobody hear me?
No.
Ya Allah.
You can regulate.
It's bad luck I have. Walay. Okay.
التي الخبرتي بين ابن آدم لو خشوف إذا شيخ أو درجة خرابة
You can take it, you can regulate so that it should be better.
Okay, I'll look at you all the time.
מקום התפילה של הדרוזים בערבית נקרא חילווה. חילווה זה מקום צדדי. הוא פורש מהמקום העומד לאנשים. הוא מתאחד בינו לבין בורא עולם. על מנת תיכנס לחוג של הדת, אתה צריך ללמוד דברים בתורת הנסתר, ולכן זה קשה. ולכן אחוז הדתיים הוא 15%, ולא כולם אפילו מבינים את הדת.
צבע לדתיים הוא כמה חמישה צבעים, ירוק, אדום, צהוב, כחול ולבן. הירוק זה טבע, אדום זה אהבה, צהוב חיטה, כחול מים ולבן זה תוכן. בישראל יש 120,000 דרוזים כולל רמת הגולן. הקדושה היא למקום שבו נולדת. אין קדושה לגבולות.
חלק מנביאי העדה הדרוזית קבורים במדינות אשר אין לישראל יחסים דיפלומטיים עימן, כגון סוריה ולבנון. אולם, מדינת ישראל פותחת את גבולה ומאפשרת מעבר של חכמי העדה הדרוזית כחלק מחופש הפולחן הדתי והבנת צורכי העדה הייחודיים.
יש חופש פולחן מלא, אין שום הפרעה, והפך מעודדים, ואפילו נתנו ימי חופש לדרוזים בעלייה לקבר נבי שועייב, בעלייה לקבר נבי סבלן, ולכן חופש הפולחן הוא מוחלט ואין עליו עוררין.
Okay, I will continue. I have faced a lot of misleading conception about Israel, so I feel that I'm responsible to defend my home and share the truth with you. So as in Arab society and every Arab culture, women and men are not equal. Even when it comes to basic human rights, such as the right to education and even transportation. So driving a car in some communities are not allowed for women. The Druze women in Israel, we can't serve in the army because we are women, because the men are serving. I find myself facing this issue even by standing here in front of you all. So to be more specific, it was a huge step from me to take the opportunity and come here because it is against our beliefs and our traditions. We are a traditional society who lives in clones. Most of the Druze are living on villages and the mountains of Israel. Yeah? Traditions and customs still take a large place in our community and in our lifestyle, which upholds the non-equality between women and men. There is no women freedom, and it is very limited. So even standing here in front of you all, it's one of our limitations. But in a law state like Israel, we can break the silence and lead a change. My story began many years ago. I was born in Akko. It's a city on the shore of Israel. There were a few families who are not living in the villages. We are one of them. Okay? Akko is a very unique city. It's very beautiful, and it's unique because you can find Christian, Jewish, Muslims, and Druze living together in harmony, like a beautiful mosaic. So I remember when we used to sit at Hannah's sukkah during Sukkot holiday, eating together, all the children in the neighborhood, and how we gathered at George's home around the Christmas tree, waiting for Santa so that we could get some present. And I remember Ramadan nights when we went to Miriam's house, and how my mother welcoming our neighbors with our traditional treats, traditional foods in our sacrifice holiday. Amazing memories for amazing life in our amazing state. And my dream that someday our country could share this kind of peace with all our Arab countries around us. And I think we could make it someday. I went to Jewish kindergarten. I spoke Hebrew for all my life. My elementary school was mostly at Muslim school, so I studied Quran for many years. Then I go to an Orthodox Christian high school, and I was graduated the first in my class. And that was when I first encountered the difference between me as a female, a Druze female, and the other neighborhood females and the females from my school. During that time, the 80s, it was forbidden for Druze women to go to and get a higher education in professions such as law, medicine, and something like that. And even in other professions, there were a little female there. Because of that, so when I want to become a dentist, I didn't even told my parents. And I go and do my entrance exam at Jerusalem without even telling them. And once I was accepted, I went and told my parents. So my father's first reaction was, why would you want to be a doctor? You can marry one. It's more easier for you. Yeah. So after I told them, I take some time to persuade them that it is a good thing. And in the end, I get their blessing, and I went to study. When I finally started my studies, I was the only Druze female in Jerusalem at the Hebrew University. The Druze students back then, they used to have a yearly meetings. These meetings was to help each other in studying and something like that. But I never go. I said I was the only female there. What I should do with a lot of men. But now, these days, I have a son who is also studying at the Hebrew University. And those meetings are still taking place, but my son is not going. So I asked him, Noor, why you aren't going? We are living in Akko. There's no Druze there. I want you to meet another Druze and know him and something like that. He told me, Mom, most of the students there are female, not men. So yes, my story is my experience from back then. Today, among the Druze students at the university, 67% of them are female and not male. I finished my studies, I became a dentist, and I moved back north. I decided I was going to work in all our villages and to show them that women could be doctors, could be pilots, could be whatever she dreamed of. And that's what should be. Then they decided to ban women from driving a car and getting a car and learning how to drive, which, in my opinion, was another way was another limitation from our ability to get work and to get a higher education, something like that. So as an act of protest, I got a flight license and learned how to fly a plane. And since they didn't technically ban that, so as a result, I became the first female pilot among the Arab in Israel. Later on, I studied law, and in 2010, I decided to run to the Qadi Shar'i rule position. Qadi Shar'i is a judge at a religious court of Druze. I was the first woman who ever dared to apply to this role. There were 374 male applicants, and I was the only female. I was a blonde going to... I was disqualified as an applicant short time after I was registered. So at the end, I didn't become a judge at the religious court, but I ended up becoming a judge in an Arab beauty pageant. That is... I started working at the Ministry of Health as a supervisor for the dental clinics at the north of the country. In 2010, I was appointed as a director for the second authority of TV and radio in Israel, which is in charge for all the lightning shows in the TV, in the national TV channels, and local radio station. I stayed there for 5 years. On the 24th of 2015, I got a professor degree in gender studies. Of course, the first female in our community. Because of Israel law and Israel culture, it was possible for me to succeed as a woman from a minority. In Israel, I, as a Druze woman, could break many glass ceilings. Consider if I compare myself to my sister, to my Syrian Druze sister who are suffering all the time. Or in Jordan, you know that in Jordan, Druze female, they can't even wear their religious custom, and they have to wear the hijab, the Muslims' hijab. So Israel is the land of free. Israel encouraged us to be independent, educated, and free. 2 years ago, at the 68th Independent Day of Israel, I was chosen to light the torch, you know, at Herzl Mountain. It was for civil bravery. As a result of my fight for women equal rights in general and Druze women specifically. So at that days, on that Independence Day, I stood in front of thousands of people, and there were another million who are watching this ceremony. I stood there and I said, I want to say it in Hebrew and in English. I think it's more powerful in Hebrew. I said, I'm Dr. Anan Falah, the daughter of Salma and Fares. אני דוקטור ענן פלח, הבת של סלמה ופארס, מדליקה משואה זו. I light this torch in honor to all women in Israel who seek equality, לכבודן של כל הנשים במדינת ישראל המבקשות שוויון בזכות ולא בחסד. Who are seeking for equality as a right, not as a favor. לכבודן של נשות העדה הדרוזית. For the Druze women, in honor of the Druze women. לכבודה של העדה הדרוזית השורשית המפוארת והגאה, חלק בלתי נפרד ממדינת ישראל ומהחברה הישראלית. And the honor of the Druze community, an inseparable part of this country and this population, שממנה אני שואבת כוח, אמונה ואומץ, from which I draw strength, faith and courage. For tradition and for the future, ולתפארת מדינת ישראל, and to the glory of Israel. So in light of that, Israel for me is a place of possibilities, connection, and empathy. One that aims to achieve equality for both sexes. So here we stand, Israel is the peace for me, the peace that we fought and will fight for. So as we're standing here in Oslo, where the first peace treaty began many years ago between Israel and Palestine, I can't forget the word that our late Prime Minister Golda Meir, she is my role model for always, once said. She said that if our neighbors leave their weapon, we will have peace. But if we leave our weapon, Israel will disappear. So I congratulate my country for its 70 years independence, hoping her much more years of success. Thank you all who are great supporters of Israel. Thank you, and I love you. Now I will show. Yes, there's another short film, but it's now about me, not about the Druze, if you want.
פרופסור ענן פלח, אישה דרוזית מעכו, שברה הרבה תקרות זכוכית, שברה זה בגיל שלמה. ביום האישה, כתוב במנכ"ל שוויגר, מביאה את סיפורה.
אני פלח ענן, אני עכורית, ישראלית, ערבייה ודרוזית.
ענן פלח היא פורצת דרך אמיתית, יש לה כמה קריירות מרשימות, רופאת שיניים.
אני הייתי רופאת השיניים הראשונה, סיימתי לפני 20 ומשהו שנה.
עורכת דין, פרופסור לחינוך ואפילו טייסת. לא עניין של מה בכך, היא אישה דרוזית בישראל.
וחבל שאין 8 ימים בשבוע ולא 7, כי אני לא מספיקה.
אף שעמדה באתגרים יוצאי הדופן שהציבה לעצמה, היא בטוחה שבמציאות הנוכחית עדיין יש צורך ביום האישה.
גבר קשה לו לקבל אישה מוצלחת. בכל החברות, בחברה המזרחית הרבה יותר מהחברה המערבית. קשה לו להגיע לבית, נגיד שהאישה עדיין בעבודה או משהו, וזה נשמע לו יותר נשי.
היום כבר אם לסטודנט ואומרת בגלוי כי העדיפה את הקריירה מהבית והמטבח. במאבק שבין הפרטי לציבורי, ענן יודעת שלכל בחירה יש מחיר.
תמיד האנשים היותר מוצלחות הם אנשים עם מהפכות משפחתיות, כמו שאומרים, וזה ממש כואב, כי צריך לשלב בין שניהם. לדעתי צריך לחנך את שני המינים, גם את הגברים וגם את הנשים. הנשים לא לוותר על מה שמגיע להם, והגברים לקבל את האחר כמו שהוא.
בבית הוריה ענן לא זוכה ליחס מיוחד, נראה שעל אף הישגיה הרבים, אמא סלמה מצפה שהקדמה לא תכרסם בקודים החברתיים.
רק שתהיה ישרה, לא תעשה משהו לא טוב אצלך. זה הכי חשוב בשבילי, שמה שהיא עושה להתקדם ככה, אני יודעת שהיא עושה, אבל אני מבסוטה שהיא לא הולכת ככה וככה.
מהנתונים המתפרסמים לרגל יום האישה עולה כי מעמדה של הישראלית במקום טוב באמצע. למשל, במדד השוויון המגדרי של מדינות ה-OECD, ישראל דורגה במקום ה-53 מתוך 100. הישראליות חיות זמן רב יותר מהגברים בארץ, משכילות יותר, אך משתכרות הרבה פחות מהם, והן רק 32% מכלל המנהלים במשק.
בחלומותיי שלי, בחזון שלנו, מה שאנחנו רוצות, שבסופו של דבר תהיה אפשרות לגברים לבחור להיות בבית ובחוץ, ונשים לבחור להיות בבית ובחוץ. הדיאלוג הזה המשותף בין גברים ונשים לא יכול דיאלוג של כורח. זאת אומרת, אם נשים נאלצות להיות במטבח, נאלצות להיות בחדר החיתולים, זה שונה מה שאתם בוחרות להיות שם.
לא רק על הקרקע, גם בשמיים ענן ממשיכה להיאבק. היא החליטה ללמוד טייס במחאה על האיסור הדתי לנשים לנהוג.
כמו תמונה, זה באמת תמונה, אבל זה רק יפה, את לא שומעת את הבעיות שלנו היומיומיות, לא פוליטיקה ולא כלכלית, כלום, לא את החוסר שוויון, כולנו שווים בלמעלה. אפילו הבניינים הגבוהים והנמוכים את רואה אותם שווים. אז זה ממש כיף.
גם אחרי כל מה שהשיגה, ענן לא מפסיקה לחפש אתגרים. יכול להיות שבעתיד הלא רחוק תעתיק את מגוריה לירושלים.
אני מעוניינת להיות בכנסת, אני חושבת ששם אפשר לשנות כל עוול, כל חוסר שוויון, כל זה בא על ידי חקיקה נכונה, על ידי תקציבים נכונים. אני חושבת ששם אני רואה את עצמי, אני לא יודעת, זה מה שאני חולמת.
Ja, det en eller to spørsmål? One question from our founder.
Thank you very much for your speech, and I just applaud whatever you stand for. I have a question about the secrecy of the Druze religion, because I had the origins of it. Because many years ago, I had an uncle who went to Spain, and there he was on the Friday evening, and he was invited in a private hall. And in the evening, they got down into the basement, and they lit candles, and they said some words they didn't understand themselves. It turned out it was Hebrew, and it was from the time when you had the expulsion of the Jews from Spain in 1492, and they went, so to speak, underground, and they didn't really know anymore what they were doing, why they were doing it. They had a feeling perhaps it was Jewish, it certainly was. I thought perhaps, is there something of that kind that made Druze religion secret? Yeah,
I think that at the beginning our religion was open and everyone wanted to get in. He managed, but they were killed by the Muslim at that time, and so they changed it to secret, and there's nobody can enter it and nobody can go out of it. We can't marry from other religion and something like that. And I think it was after the religion was began, like you said. But I don't know if they managed now to do it or not, if you ask. So I thank you all. If there's no any question, okay, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.